Sitting right at Truro at the Tidal Bore Visitor Center, waiting for the Tidal Bore to come up the river. We've arrived up at Cape Breton. First stop is the little town of St. Peter's, where our bed and breakfast, the Pepperell Place Inn, is right there. And we're just looking around the little town. The recommendation was to try this Louis' Cozy Corner for a bite to eat, so I think that's what we'll do. How are you liking the clams here? Good?
Delicious.
Okay. I need her all. Main strip in St. Peter's. Some amenities available, and the water. Our hosts at our B&B are excellent. The food was amazing. The room was nicely appointed. We even bought some of their homemade chocolate and some fruit tea that they sold at the tea location. Got up early to head to the fort at Louisbourg.
Would have done it. I mean, minus the power tools. That'll be the one, yeah. Counted on that, but this is.
They're not Phillies.
Oh, yeah. You can get the floppy ones, but you can't get the ones. And the fort has a purpose, from a storeroom to a beautiful day to walk around. And the entrance from the water into the fortress. The fortress is actually more like a village with a military component, protected walled fort. An example of a piece of furniture from 1758, still hanging in there, painting to show what the fort would have looked like in the heyday of the fishing trade. Out of all the people that served with the military for the French, this is the only known portrait of an officer, Jean-René Benet de Lentade.
Hello.
This site had the Lopinot family, who had two slaves, Marie Marguerite Rose and she ended up being freed and became the first black woman to run a business in what is now Canada. And this is the footprint of the house, and there's a plaque to her out in the field.
Because I have a cough piece.
Donna being chained up to keep her away from ruining the videos during this tour of Louisbourg. One point, Louisbourg Harbor was the busiest French port in all of North America due to the roaring trade in fish, primarily. Home of the French engineer who helped design the fortifications.
So the furnishings are replicas of what?
These are actually all antiques.
Interesting fact about the buildings here in Louisbourg: those with the black shale roof and the ones with the fleur-de-lis are the King's buildings. All the other buildings that are wooden slated buildings are belonging to private individuals.
And so the upper class gentleman, he's got to be educated.
We're entering into the King's domain. Not that he would come here, but this was the governing and administrative part of the fort located. Through archaeological digs, they found everything from remnants of soldiers' essentials, leather boot, scissors, buttons, games, as well as what you'd find in houses. You can see the quality of accommodations of those who were leaving an officer class versus the enlisted class. And so
Enough rooms to sleep 750 men. They were more or less all like this one.
right. Dining with the governor. And right adjacent to it is where the magic took place. It was a short drive up to Sydney, and we took time to check out the harbor and the historical part of the town. Down at Sydney Harbor, we've got the Olympia off in the distance, vision of the seas, and around the corner a gigantic cruise ship called the Waterfront at Sydney. The Sydney waterfront, and right behind it is the famed big fiddle. Piper in the background, and a couple ginormous cruise ships. This is the Princess cruise ship in the background.
Want your picture in
Oh
there?
yeah, absolutely. There's a little flea market down at the terminal. More memorial to merchant seamen who lost their lives, especially during the Battle of the Atlantic. Beautiful afternoon walking along the boardwalk at Sydney Harbour Front. This is a downtown commercial district of Sydney. Trying to make it quite nice with the flowers at the side of the street and the colored chairs to be able to sit in as you're walking along, checking out the shops. It's one of the many period homes you can tour.
It's about a 15-minute drive from here. They run aground on a shoal just offshore of Manitou, and get stuck. They ground the ship.
The walking tour of Old Sydney includes plenty of the beautiful wooden buildings and a couple of churches, this one dating from 1785. Had a lovely meal at the Hotel North up at the top of North Sydney where the ferry terminal is, and we're catching a beautiful sunset. It was off to Bedeck for our B&B for the evening.